Hi, I'm Tom Jones and welcome. I'm going to show you a nice little tip today that I think will save you a lot of heartache and salvage your painting at the same time. Before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a watercolorist, and while Florida is my home, I teach watercolor workshops around the world. And that's been a wonderful experience for me. I started very early in life painting, and but now I'm teaching art. I've been teaching for about 20 years, and I really enjoy working with the students around the country and around the world. So I hope you'll join me. I'm going to talk a little bit about this particular tip, and then I want to show you some of my paintings as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got a couple of things out. I've got some of this tape. This is the painter's tape, and you can buy this in the art stores now. So I'd recommend that you use this for this particular exercise as opposed to a masking tape which may tear your paper. So we're going to start with that first. What I've got is I've got a couple of scenes here where I actually got a little carried away with the paint on the roof, and it went up into, let's say, a sky area. And now what am I going to do? How am I going to get it off? Do I scrub it? Do I spray it? Do I use a toothbrush? I'm going to show you an easy way of doing it. I also have a telephone pole down here. And sometimes when you start out painting, you're doing perfect, and all of a sudden you get carried away, and maybe it's a little too fat in one area and too thin in the other area. But regardless, there's a solution for that problem too. Or maybe it's the horizon line on the water. All of a sudden, it's on an angle, and you know that the water line should be straight. How do you solve that problem? This is three separate problems, and we can solve it with one solution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the painter's tape, and I'm going to place it across the edge of the roof line, just like that, right on the roof line, so that I don't disturb that area. Next, you're going to need some clean water and tissue. So I've got a bucket of water here, and I've got some tissue, and you're going to need a toothbrush. So what you do is you dampen the toothbrush in the water, take the tissue, and watch what I do now. I'm going to simply take and start erasing this color with water on my toothbrush. Just rub it gently like this, and all of a sudden it'll start coming loose. Now remember, you need to pick it up with clean, fresh tissues. Make sure they're nice and dry. So I'm going to continue on until all the paint is gone, and just rubbing it in a circular motion, and again, just dab it with a clean tissue and it goes away. Watch what happens when I remove the tape. A nice clean edge on the top of your roof line, so you've solved the problem. Let me put this little tape away. I always use fresh tape because if there's water underneath this particular area of the tape, it may create a problem for me. So nice dry tape going back on, and I'm going to straighten up the edge of this particular telephone pole here. Same idea. Wet the toothbrush in a bucket of water, get some clean, fresh tissue, and then just gently start massaging that area up next to the tape. And then again, pick up the excess color and water with a dry tissue. Always keep using the dry tissue, as I mentioned. So we're going to come in and do a little bit more until all of that paint is removed, and you're right back to the white of the paper. And look what happens. Now I'm going to remove the tape, and you got a nice straight telephone pole. See how easy that was? Let's do one more exercise. Let's take the tape and put it along the edge of the horizon line of this particular water area. Let me get a little bit longer piece of tape. That wasn't quite long enough, so let me just pull off a nice long piece like so. And we'll put the tape right across the edge, and we'll line it up so that we have it nice and level there. Again, just take and rub it carefully along the edge to make sure it's sealed so the water's not going under it. Repeat the exercise again. Just simply take the toothbrush and then just gently erase or massage that area, and then pick up the color as you go along, and pretty soon you'll be back to the white of the paper. So watch as I do this. I'm going to just start erasing that color with the toothbrush. Pick it up immediately with a tissue, and use as many tissues as you need to get the job done. Don't keep using a wet or damp tissue now. Go ahead and keep massaging until you get back to the white of the paper. Same thing, pick up the excess color, go back, get more water, another tissue, continue along. We're going to continue erasing, and we'll go right back to the white of the paper. There. Take the tape off, and now you got a nice clean edge at the top of your water. It's nice and level right there. Okay? That concludes my tip for you. I hope that it's been beneficial for you, and I hope that you'll use it when you get yourself in trouble like this in your paintings. I wanted to take a moment and show you a couple of my pieces of work so you can become a little more familiar with me. This is one of my autumn scenes that I've done, and this is a scene that I did of the north, an area where I grew up and so forth. And so I hope that you get some ideas from this as far as my painting experience goes and what you can do yourself. So let me set this one aside. I'll show you another one. Here's another scene. This happens to be a winter scene. So I got one season that's autumn. This happens to be a winter scene, and it's got some old barns and so forth in here, as you can see, and some snow. So this was a fun scene to paint also. I hope you enjoy your painting experience, and hope you'll join me sometime in your painting experience. Thanks for stopping by today, and I hope this tip that I gave you is something that's going to be beneficial for you. I'm Tom Jones. Goodbye for now.